Hey everybody, it's finaformsora, and I'm here to show you my Star Seeker Keyblade. So, yeah, I used spray paint for most of it. I did some touch-up work with a paintbrush, but I did all the fading and stuff with spray paint. It's glossed, and oops, sorry. This section and the stars up here are all glow in the dark, but unfortunately it won't show up on my camera. I think I had someone put on a coat of gloss for me that I trust with this, and so I don't know. I think there are two or three coats, and I ran out of spray gloss. So there's that. Let's see, for the mount, this is a mound here. I don't know if you can tell. These don't glow in the dark, but these are wood. I just glued them on. My painting skills aren't the best, but I guess I try to make up for it in my woodwork. So I just put blue tape on for most of these. The stars, they didn't have to be exact because they're not even exact in the game. They're elongated and all, but so this is like lowered here on the inside of the rim, and then it's raised in the middle like a mound. Oh my gosh, I wish I would have seen that. Anyway, it's really shiny and smooth. I'll be showing you guys at Otakon. Here's my Oathkeeper. This is not yet glossed, so it's not really done yet, so I can still do details on it if there's anything wrong. Like with that black part, I'll have to do some ivory work. And it was really hard to do this fading here. I wish I could have done a little better on that, but it's such a small space and I'm not a good painter. And you can kind of see there's a little bit of orange there because the orange was like really runny for some reason and it was hanging up, so it ran down. And the other side, I don't know if it looks any better. Yep, I think I did a pretty good job with the fading on the handle on that part and on the Star Seeker. That's just my personal opinion. And just the side. Here's my Bond of Flame. It's still drying. I already have the red on it. I think this is still wet. Yeah, it's still wet-ish, drying. We got a fan going. So there's that. I have my... Oh, and in case you haven't noticed, I'm in a different place this time. I moved since my last video, and so I have this big shop now. Go around, you can see my pie show table. And there's outside, got a nice little place out there. I'll have to put a cement slab on there. Here's what I have of my sleeping lions so far. I don't know why. I didn't really like making this one. I made it because I thought it would look good with the Oathkeeper. And I tried to get this dimple I tried to make it a mound for the eye, but it was such a small space and I couldn't get it to go right. But then these are all nice, everything's all smooth, and there's a side view. I haven't even primed this yet, so I might flatten that out a little bit. I don't know, I've seen a lot of people do that. And this is flat, or pointed here. It was kind of sharp, but it's been kind of humid today, so it kind of softened it up, which I don't really like about that. And then there's like a line in the picture on here, goes around the handle, so it's like angled. It's angled on the inside, but then it's rounded on the inside, on both sides, and then I angled the handle, and here I cut some slots, and I have a pin, and I know that hole isn't right. I'm gonna sand it down so it's flat, but there's a hole. I wish I had this right angle attachment for my Dremel so I could drill a hole, and then I do use like a spring thing so it just clicks in instead of having to drop it in and then fill it up with wood putty. I still have to make this cylinder because the other one I had, I don't know if I still have it around. It was a wooden cylinder and it didn't really work too well, so I had to start over and take 4 pieces of plywood, and that's how wide the cylinder is and all that, and they're gluing right now. I glued them an hour ago or so, and so that'll spin freely instead of just being stuck. I have the pendants kind of roughly cut out. That's the Bond of Flame, and there's the Palpu fruit, even though it's supposed to be Wayfinder. I like it better as a Palpu fruit because I've seen both ways, depending on which game you play. Well, somewhat. And then I have the moon over here cut out for the Star Seeker. I really don't know how I'm gonna shape that, because this is where the there's gonna be that's where the links are gonna connect to it. So I have to drill a hole there, but I don't know if I want it to be angled so that way it goes from the middle of this all the way out to the outside so it's flat. So this will be a little thinner. It'll be like that middle sheet, and I don't know if I want the outside to look like that, or if I want it to be angled in halfway and then angled down the other half of the way. So I don't know how I want that to work. Some people just have it flat. I don't really like making things just 2D. I like to make it 3D. But yep, there's my Keyblades, and I have, whoa, this is heavy. Hold on, I'll just have to set it up. Carry it over here. Ugh. That is actually really heavy because I have 3 layers of wood on the handle there because it wasn't thick enough. But here's my hidden dragon. I did have the details drawn out on the handle over here, but it's covered up by the other layers. You may notice there's a difference here. I didn't like how it only had notches in the original picture. I think that really was part of the graphics that were messed up. Like with these parts, it just showed it cut off flat, so I made those rounded. And so I made those rounded to look like flame curls. This one is actually going to be heavier regardless of what I do to it because it's made of a denser wood. I usually use this finished wood for my Keyblades. I did use this type of wood for the Star Seeker though, and that is relatively light because of how thin the blade is. I don't know how this will turn out to be out at the end. And then I'll have to add something here on the outside I'll have to glue more layers on there. But I'll wait till later. And commissions, I won't be able to do commissions until about I'd say after Otakon, because I have to get myself a 1/4-inch steel cylinder so I can start metal casting. And I will eventually make all these Keyblades out of metal if I can, whether by sand casting or I know a good place where I can go to what's it called? Wax casting. There we go. Lost wax casting. But yeah, so I have to make someone's family crest, which I have to find somehow. And I have a few small things. I have a star to make for Catherine Chan. She's also on YouTube.